Now then, welcome back to another episode on the Hypermine Infinity Evolved server. Hi, how are you today? Today I've been messing around a little bit with doing an entrance area, trying to define the entrance of the Twilight Forest Museum. And so far, that's all I've come up with. So far, I'm working on getting the portal up here. That's like the first thing. So the portal to the Twilight Forest, I'm bringing it outside. So that's led me to have some grass to be able to place some flowers around a portal. And that's given me the idea of a green grass carpet all the way down here. And somewhere over here, we're going to arch this over and onto this sort of area around this corner section here. So people will be able to mount a flight of stairs and then come up and along a large bridge-like structure and come to this section here. And then they can either go into the portal or into the museum, depending on what they want to do. And it's kind of going to keep it central and located and all that. Like I mentioned in the last episode, there's a portal down there that's currently the main portal back from spawn in the Twilight Forest. So I'm hoping that this one will break that one. I'll break that one and make this one, and hopefully that will bring us in line with the whole idea. One thing that I've been doing, though, to try and get this sort of like section done, I started off because it's a 4x4 area with the water in the middle, makes the portal. I got an equal 4x4 over this side, and I wanted a kind of like a rounded area coming out, and a rounded area with a 4x4 in the centre is not so simple. It seems to be working now, but I've used a builder's guide to help me out. The builder's guide has got a whole load of new little options that we didn't have before, all extra little bits of details. Each individual thing has a thing going on. There's buttons all over, and it took me a little while to figure out exactly what I wanted to do with it, but I got there eventually, and I came up with this structure type shape of a sphere. So the sphere is like that, and I've just put the blocks in where I wanted the sphere to be, so it's kind of half spherical. And I may use this final piece down here, this bottom bit, filled in, and make some struts like holding it up slightly, or some sort of curve between the two. But that's by the by. That's something that we're doing, and then I just sort of copied this side over to this side so that it was symmetrical. Nice and simple. Yeah, and because the block is slightly non-central, I had to use all of these special gadgets and gadgets to get it so that it would be evenly matched out and evenly spaced and look good. And I think it does. I think it does look good. It's exactly the way I intended it to look, I think, with a few adaptions. So I'm going to set up the Twilight Forest portal in there. I've got my flowers and some diamonds. Once the portal's lit, like this portal down here over where Tick originally sorted out, or was it T.O. Wolf? Yeah, Lone Wolf. He had his base down there, and you can take the flowers once you've done the Twilight Forest. So you don't need to worry about them then. So I'm going to just quickly light the portal and break that portal down there, and then start thinking about the entranceway a little bit more. But it's raining on the Hypermine server. Thank you very much. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so the portal is lit, the portal is working, everything's fine. I've checked it. I've dismantled the other one over down by Tio Lone Wolf's place. And today I want to work on the Lich Tower room, which is this room here. Now, I'm on holiday by the time you're seeing this, so I'm pre-recording. So I'm going to do this room, I think, and then potentially another episode for later in the week doing maybe the labyrinth. And I'll be pottering around doing bits and pieces around the place in the meantime as well. So things will change, things would go and do things. But first up, I want to just go and take another look at the Lich's Tower. I'm not going to change the outside blocks of the castle. I'm going to change the inside blocks of the castle. But let's just go and have a look in the Lich's Tower once more just to figure out what's what and where's the tree. So this is now the spawn portal. This is now spawn portal, home. Very good. So people will come here first thing. To do the Twilight Forest justice, I want these kind of trees and stuff inside the build as well. So I'm going to be doing things like that around the place as well. But that's easy enough just to gather some of these blocks and some of these bits and pieces. Get some mushroom blocks or some mushroom blocks and get those things installed. Just generally have a feel of a Twilight Forest inside the museum is the idea. And then think about the entrances and stuff around the place as well. Now, this is the Lich's Tower that we cleared out during our Twilight Forest adventure, and this is what it looks like inside. So, I haven't quite got as much space inside the tower at the museum, but I can still get the same effect, I should think, quite easily. Get a chandelier, that's something I can do. Put a beach ceiling, yes, beach ceiling, chandelier, pictures on the walls with various stone brick type things. Yep, should be easy enough to sort out. Have a glass bit in the center with the stairs coming up, and these are beach slabs coming up. So hopefully I can do something with beach slabs, maybe beach slabs and stairs going up and down the tower. But first of all, I need to change this so that I get my flight back. Thank you very much. And yeah, do that. And yeah, there's these little bits here. They go up in slabs all the way around. One side's got birch going all the way down, and one side's got stone brick slabs all the way down. So there's two stairwells entwined going around the place with the occasional bit across in between. So I want the same kind of visual look up the tower that we're making. So maybe, just maybe, I'm going to have to make this a 1 wide gap instead of a 2 wide gap, so that I've got that internal area. Because I'm already going to add these blocks to make stone brick all the way up the tower. Then I've got to add a stairwell going around it as well, and that's not going to leave me a lot of space inside. And then it's just a case of putting some paintings on the walls. That should be easy enough, shouldn't it? Paintings all around, and even more so up at the top, which should be the focus of the start of things, I think. And they've got simple fences with torches on the top as well. So it should be a fairly simple build. I'm going to try and recreate this as best I can in that. I may use Schematica just to get this chandelier type thing right. It's kind of simple, I suppose. It just comes down in a single one, splits off into 4, then each one of those 4 splits off into 3. Yeah, I should be able to just mimic that anyway. And I may end up taking most of the blocks from said place because, well, I don't seem to have a lot of these blocks. There's all sorts of cracked stone bricks and mossy stone bricks and stone bricks everywhere in the tower here. So I may have to run a quarry just to get all these blocks so that I don't have to make them all myself. But the space that we've got is not exactly the biggest. So I've got to figure out exactly how I want this to happen. And I arrive back at the museum. Awesome. Perfect. So that portal is lined up beautifully. Awesome. So, what do we got around here? So, yeah. So. Bricks. So to start with, I'm going to end up with a layer of bricks. So I'm just going to kind of map it out now quickly. Just with smooth bricks, because we don't need to do anything else. The doorway in's going to be a bit of an issue, maybe. But I could possibly just bring it to there and have a smaller doorway. A single door or a double door. Yeah, a double door, I think. I think I need a double door there. So I'll have this up like this, I guess. And all around. There we go. So yeah, you come in through this way round. I can use those special door blocks just there. So at the top of the stairs, you open it up and then you go into it. Yeah, that'll work. That should still fit nicely. And then I'm going to have to do the stairwells and stuff going up through it as well. So I'm just trying to figure out space and size at the minute. That's the first stage. Figure out how much space and size I've actually got to define how it's going to look all the way up. And then I'm just going to build it and hope for the best. Hope it looks similar in the end there. So let's start with the birch stairs, and I guess we can start here. So with a stairwell going up, it would just put some stairs around here. I'll get rid of them all again in a bit. Stairwell going all the way around here, and possibly the other one starts around here somewhere, which will be the stone brick version. Yeah, so we've got those two stairwells starting. That's the thing. And they're going to go up and around, but I also need the fence posts all the way around that as well, don't I? So let's use these again, but make it so it's fence posts. And I need to change my bauble again. I need a better ring of flight of some kind. That didn't work out quite the way I wanted. Dang it. There we go. Making a mess with Nemsun 2016. Right, and that I've done it again, haven't I? That should be okay, though. That should be okay. So we got, yeah, that like that, all the way around it. And then what? What's it going to look like when we've done that bit? See, these are the things that are sent to try me. Figure it all out. Work out where I'm going to have the space to do it. And then start building it all up. And just hope for the best. So we kind of come in like this. This central part of the room isn't so big, but it doesn't look too bad. That's a doable space, I think. That's a doable space. I think we can work with that kind of limited space. One wide walkway all the way around to go up. It's kind of miniaturizing the place a little bit, but still looks okay. I could potentially use micro blocks, I suppose. Could potentially do micro blocks. I wonder how that would feel going around it. I don't. Oh man, that's going to be a lot of micro blocking, but it could still be a valid tactic because I make more of the space with micro blocks. Let's use this to cut up some of these. I can either go half or I can go paneling. Paneling might be good. And I pick up my thing again. I always drop that. Always, always, always. Paneling. Oh, man. Derps. Paneling all the way up. It's not as quick and as easy, but it is going to be more space reliant. Yeah, you got more space here. So then I can just have the actual walkways slightly bigger. Going all the way up. Yes. Yes. I could even half slab. Well, I could even cut some of the beach panels with a saw to try and make those slightly smaller as well. So I could have like a thing and a half. But that's a lot of microblocks. And microblocks are not great for performance, FPS-wise. Maybe just the wall panels should be good enough. Just do the whole thing. That's a lot of microblocking. But will it be worth it? Or should I just stick to making it nice and simple with blocks? Can I get a platform running across between the two? If I do a platform with any type of material running across, we're going to end up with a single walkway again. So we're basically miniaturizing that single walkway all the way through and across between the two. And then from down here, you're going to get little gaps of things to look up at. And you won't see the whole thing until you get up there. And that's kind of the feel of the Lich's Tower. The Lich's Tower, you can't quite see what's at the top until you're getting closer to it. But there's kind of a hint at it from all the stages on the way up. I might use the tiles, the panels on this wall, just because of the doorway. Just so that I've got that. I might just panel that wall and have blocks going around the rest of the walls. It does mean that my staircase is still going to be narrow. Would be nicer if it was wider, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, well, that is what I'm going to start on over the next day, the next few hours, just to start that off. There was something else, though, that I wanted to think about before we get started properly on just revealing the grand design after I've finished it. And that was getting some of the wood from the Twilight. And I think I've got some canopy oak, yeah. I've got some pine wood. I don't think that's that stuff. The tower wood, that was another thing. Tower wood for making a tower section. Let's get some canopy wood. We got loads of bits and pieces from the tower of the gas. We've also got to try and figure out where they're going to go somewhere around here as well. But this is going to be a building and revealing episode, and hopefully there'll be a few little tricks along the way. And maybe a little bit of, maybe just a little bit here and there of some stuff happening with mob spawners and the like. So we'll see how we get on. Now, do I want to... This is the debate now, is whether to bring out this section here. So there's got a bit of like grass around here and then a tree poking up the side, just mimicking the canopy tree, so that when you come in, you're kind of presented with a tree there, and I'll probably put a tree here as well. Just to balance it out a little bit. There we go. And you've got the solid beam in the middle. But kind of have the canopy tree just up and over, sort of almost arching into the room with a bit of greenery around the tops there. So you can still see the cleanliness of the white museum, but you've got this kind of grown-in feel to the place as well. So we'll just have like a bit of the canopy tree growing up and out. And then once the canopy tree gets to a certain height, that would be about it. But just enough to arch over together, just to give you an entrance that's slightly concealing other things. Because one thing these great big pillars do is not only look like it's actually holding up the structure, but they also give you that perspective, lines of sight through the place where you go, oh, what's that over there? Let's go and have a look. And then you may spot something else on your way past. And that's kind of cool, I think, for the museum feel. I also want to do something about this great big walls of nothing. So I want to do some sort of display areas just against the walls, little bits and pieces here and there, just to make an interesting structure. But the majority up in the air, I still want to kind of keep the ceiling empty, apart from maybe these first two initial trees as you walk in. But I'm going to play with this for a little bit, and I'll be back to you when I've got something to show you. Alrighty then, so progress update. We've got a delivery from Benito. Benito's been busy sorting out a fungal bee, a fungal queen, a fungal bee, to get various bits and pieces, including mushroom blocks, so he can build some mushroom tree type things inside the Twilight Forest thing. This is just centrifuging mushroom bits and pieces. It's just constantly working, making us up a nice supply of mushroom blocks to give us a healthy amount so that we can build stuff in here. I got my trees working. Look at them. Trees. Awesome. It looks a little bit better with the trees in. I might do a few other trees and a few mushroom trees and all that kind of stuff around this sort of lobby area. But that's another time. I've been working heavily on the Lich Tower room, like I said I would get on with. And check it out. Here we go. Look at that. This is a little bit of stone brick panels just to get you into the room nice and neatly. But then we've got two stairwells, one up and one potentially down. An up and a down. But you can go up and down either way, really. It doesn't really matter. But looking all the way up, you've got that big spiral-y staircasey tower thing that the Lich Tower's got. And part of the way up, I'm working on something that will give me the platforms across. Here it is, this one here. So, I'm just going to finish this off quickly now. I've got all sorts of stuff in my inventory to finish things off. Just been on another supply run after I've fixed things up and messed about with things for a while. That one needs to be like that. There we go. And then, there we go. That is very similar to how the bit in the Twilight Forest works. And I think I'll just put a bit there and a bit there. And we'll have We'll have my thing back on, please. Give me flight, thank you. We'll put a light source there and a light source there. Normally there would be a spawner there in the Twilight Forest itself. But I'm not going to put a spawner in the middle of a museum. Well, not now anyway, not until I've got it safely done. So all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. And there's some little offshoots as well. So I've got a little offshoot here, which goes up and out onto the roof. So there's a way in and out of this thing here. That should not be there. It's an error. There we go. Error 1. There we go. Gone. There's actually something else a bit further down that I did. It's actually on the other side, I believe. Over here? Over there? Yeah, just here, yeah. On the way down from it all, we've got this kind of output area which comes out into the museum here. And a little tower just sitting on the output. Just sticking out slightly, just so you can get in from a different place as well. Just adding another little feature into the museum, so you can get in and out this way, into the tower. But the main thing is the upstairs area where the Lich would normally spawn in the Twilight Forest tower. Another little bridge there as well. All the way up at the top, I should probably fly, it's quicker. And I've got some finishing touches to do up here, but still, nearly there. So, yeah, we've got this, which is going to be that and that. There we go, to attach that up. That's set up like that, and this side is good to go like that. Just needed to put some glass in to finish this section off here. There we go. Alright. And now we've got the upstairs area of where this Lich would spawn. Kind of. It's a smaller scale. It's a scaled down version. And I probably want to put some more of these little panels just over the floor. So nothing spawns up here, but the lighting sources are on the walls in the form of little torches and windows and the like. But lots of paintings and this beautiful chandelier up here as well. And the glass floor, of course. Giving us that area up above for the Lich area. Yeah, the Lich's spawn area. So I'm quite pleased with that. And then on the way out, I've got to do something about these torches as well. I'll probably just put some torches up on the wall, but that's not going to work, is it? Because that's going to be banging my head. Probably put some sort of torch light on the wall or something to light the place up. Or maybe a torch on the corners instead of in the corners. Just on the corners instead of in the corners. Like that, just on the way up. That'll probably look okay. We've got a massive thunderstorm brewing outside. Going to be quick with this today. So, down on this section, yeah, the next section down, we've got the exit. So you can go all the way down back to the start of the museum area down there. Or you can go through this section here and out the side. And then I've got kind of like a gift shop idea going on here. I'm not sure what blocks I want to make it out of yet, but I've set it up here for some spawners. And what I want to do here is have some grinders with power. So I'm probably going to need to automate this a little bit just now for you. And I think I'm just going to have one power source. So we just have a Tesseract here doing power. And I also want the drops and the supplies and stuff to come out of it. So we'll have it's private to me, and I'll have it mob farming essence, set frequency. Yep. We'll have it receiving energy and receiving fluid, sending fluid, and sending items. No, we won't have it actually sending any items. We'll keep it taking items out. So it's receiving energy and sending the fluid. Right? Wow, thunderstorm. I wonder if I can sleep quickly. Just get rid of the thunder. Wow, I'm in a block. I'm in a block. Am I dead? Am I asleep? Yes, I am. Okay, good. Right. So, yeah. We're going to have these grinders. So I'm going to put another block here for now. Put a grinder on top here. And then take that out to put the power supply going through. And same on this side. If I can hit it right. There we go. With a grinder. There we go. So the power is going to go in. And the items and the liquid's going to come out. And then I'll probably put something along here. like this, and have a couple of barrels, so the items from the mob spawns come into the barrels and people can just help themselves, like a little gift shop. Still needs a little fancying up, I know. It's still got some bits and pieces to do, but still, we're getting there. And the auto spawners from Mine Factory Reloaded can go in like this with a Tesseract underneath and a spawner on top. That'll work, and we'll do the same on the other side. And then I'll just wall it all off and glass it all in so that mobs can spawn in here. But they're quite safe. They're not going to go anywhere. So one of the things here is mob farming essence. And we're going to receive energy and receive fluid. So energy and fluid is going to come in here to give this mob essence and power, which it's doing. And I'm going to put the safari net of something cool from the Twilight Forest, possibly from the Lich's area, possibly, into there. And same here. Maybe those little flying book things, that might be a thing to do. So receiving energy and receiving fluid. That should be that. There you go, receiving energy and fluid, so that's mob essence and energy. Good, good. And this one should be sending mob essence back. So it's kind of a loop, but it's a negative loop. So I'm going to be supplying the mob essence from my farm that I was doing a few episodes ago and setting that up. I just need to automate that last little bit for power and the like, and then we're pretty much done here. So what are we going to do? Power-wise, we only need a leadstone flux duct. That'll do. So I'll power it that way and that way. And that's getting power now, yes. And that's getting power now, yes. Awesome. And then the items and the liquid, we're going to take a liquid transfer node. Have I got some? I've got some temperate fluid ducts. Yeah, they'll do. That'll take the fluid out, so we can have those going back into there like that. So any fluid it makes will go back into there. And then the items will come out via an item duct. I've got lots of item ducts. Yeah, there we go. So the items will come out here this way and will come down to here like this. And I just have to seal it all in and sort it all out, and away we go. And I'll possibly put a trash can somewhere around here as well. So if the items that mob produces, which is paper, I think it is, if I use the paper one, and this one produces, don't go into the barrels for free, then they'll go into a bin in here. The fluids will all go in there, so any mob essence that it gains will go back into the Tesseract, and it will send the fluid back out, and the power's working. And I should be able to put a cap on these using my microblocks in some description or another. Let's just put any old panels on for now. We don't want covers. We'll have... Let's have marble covers for now. Let's see if those work. And boom, there we go. Just put a cover on either side. Whatever it is that I make this out of, that will be it. Covering them up. And I'll do the same on the top as well. So we'll cover that up as well. And we'll have a glass window looking in here, so people can see the mob spawning. Now, the mob grinder only does a 5x5 area. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it only does a 5x5 area. So all the way around the outside edge, pretty much, is outside of the grinder area. So the mobs will actually be in here until they move into the area of the grinder. So that will allow for a bit of a display of the mobs running around around the outside nearest the glass, and if they go anywhere else then they die, but that's okay. So we got that section, and that's like a little gift shop section. It needs a bit of fancying up, and I'm not doing it now because I'm in a bit of a rush to finish the episode. If you didn't know, I'm on holiday, so I'm trying to get as much done as I can pre-recorded before the holiday. But this, I think, is going to be all I've got time for this episode and this week, so I can finish some more off and do some more finishing touches when I get home from holiday. I'm sure I'll be raring to go once I get back from holiday. But I'm quite pleased with the overall look of the Lich's Tower so far. If I had more time, I think I'd do a bit more in the lobby and maybe worked on the basement part and potentially the maze up on the second floor. But unfortunately, that is all I've got time for today and this week. So thank you very, very much for watching. I will start recording again as soon as I'm back from holiday, and you will see some more Hypermine Infinity Evolved. Until then, goodbye.